Alright, this is 7.2 and we're looking at adjusting entries. So in the last video what we did is we created our trial balance column. Again, we went from our general ledgers and wrote out all balances and the account titles and proved that our debits equal credits. So now we're doing adjustments. So adjustments typically happen, in this case here you can see supplies and prepaid insurance, things that will deteriorate throughout the month. And typically in a business they'll go through this stuff at the end of the month and see what they have left on hand or what values are. So what you'll see in your problems is you'll see something like this. Okay, it's going to say adjustment information for August 31st, and it's going to say supplies on hand 2,187, and the value of our prepaid insurance is 1,100. So what that's saying is that is what we have at the end of the month now. That's what we've calculated that we have left. So what we need to do is we need to calculate what our adjustments are. So what we have here, I've just done this out, and your textbook does a nice job too of showing you how it works. But we have our supplies, right? Our trial balance supplies, which was 4,751. But we calculated that now we only have 2,187. So we need to figure out what happened, how much we lost, which is our adjustment. So what we can do is we can highlight that box, go into our functions, go more functions. ImSum is subtraction. It's going to ask you what you want to subtract. We're going to take our starting value minus our ending value, and you're going to notice there that we're left with $2,564. I'm going to go and change that and make sure that it is money. Try to anyways. Not liking it. That's right. So what we then can do is we can do the same thing for our prepaid insurance. So again, I have the trial balance value. I can then type in what we calculated we have at the end of the month. And again, we can now figure out what is the difference. How much did we lose? And again, our first value subtracted by our second value. And you can see we lost $100. So once we've calculated what our adjustments are, we then go to the worksheet. So we're going to find our supplies. So again, has a debit balance. We're losing supplies, we're adjusting it. So we're going to take that value we calculated, 2,564, and put into the credit column. We're also then going to put an A. Right? What this does is it allows us to keep track of what adjustments and what happens in the expenses. Just so that we can show that it's done on the same adjustment. So we have that there. We then need to go down to our supplies expense under the adjustments, and we're now going to debit that value because that's what our expenses are. And again, we're going to put a little A in there, and that's showing that these are done on the same adjustment. We're now going to go and do that for our prepaid insurance. Our prepaid insurance, we lost 100. It is now transaction B, we're going to call it. We're then going to go to our prepaid insurance expense. We're going to type in 100, and again we're going to put the little B. Again, saying that these transactions happen at the same time. We're then going to go and we're going to do our our summing and make sure that our debits equal our credits. If they don't, we've made some kind of an error. You can see that debit equal credit, and we can then do our proper ruling. Right? That is adjusting entries.